Hey guys, I am Dimsies. Welcome to the Omnic Recap. So, this week the Overwatch 2 beta ended, and at the end of that beta, just as they closed down the servers, Blizzard dropped a slight hint at the upcoming Fox Girl hero. I made a video on the topic earlier this week. I'll link it in the description below in case you haven't seen it yet. But as I was making that video, I started realizing that while we do not know what the Fox Girl will look like, what her name is, and what her abilities will be, we do actually know quite a lot about her. Maybe more than we have known ever before about a yet unreleased hero. Well, maybe apart from Doomfist. In any case, we'll find out a lot more in just a few weeks. And I'm sticking with my prediction that they will show off in a trailer during the Gamescom opening night on August 23rd. But since that is still a month away, I wanted to take all that info that we already know about and see if we can deduct some extra info. Use our brains and get a better picture of what we can expect. Now, let's start out with her age, because I keep referring to her as the Kanizaka Fox Girl, but I think she's actually the Kanizaka Fox woman. Both her parents worked for the Hashimoto clan. And when I say work, I mean, yeah, they're kind of forced to work for the clan that took over Kanizaka, a city where the Shimada clan used to rule. Both her dad, Toshiro Yamagami, and her mother, Asa Yamagami, used to make blades for the Shimada clan. And Asa was even chosen to be their sword master, which is a great honor, as Asa that taught both Hanzo and Genji how to handle a sword. Now, I'm coming back to that forced labor bit in a second, because the fact that Asa was the teacher of Hanzo and Genji tells us something about her age and that of her husband, because Hanzo is 38, Genji is 35. They were both trained in combat early on, but just for the sake of all this, I'm just going to keep it at 18. I don't want to get child services involved here. So they started training with Asa over 20 years ago, and Asa was a sword master, which is a title you do not get at the start of your career. It takes a while. So let's just presume that she was already in her 30s. That means by now she should be over 50, and her husband is probably around that same age. Her husband, Toshiro, is actually being held captive by the Hashimoto clan, and he is making blades for them. Asa and her daughter, which is our Fox hero, are still at Kanizaka at home, but with Toshiro being captured, they were forced to close their weapon shop, Yamagami Blades. And by keeping her husband captive, the clan is forcing Asa to become an enforcer, a task she clearly does not enjoy doing, and which definitely has her missing the Shimada days. And the fact that she's an enforcer kind of confirms her age. I mean, ladies in their 50s can still kick serious ass. If her parents are around 50, I think our Fox hero might be around 20, maybe even a little older, because she was most likely born before Asa became a sword master. So I'm going to guess around 24. Her dad was abducted 8 years ago, which would make the Fox hero 16 at that point, which also explains why she stayed under the radar for the Hashimoto clan. It also tells us that she'll probably look a little more like Tracer than she would look like Diva. Back in the day when the Kanizaka map was released, everybody noticed two pieces of art, this Mag Lady and the Puktato girl. It turned out that the Mag Lady was an early concept for Diva, which makes sense, and I think I read somewhere that the Puktato girl is based on someone in the team. That doesn't rule him out as the hero. On the other hand, another piece of art that has been going around in the community and that some people in my comments mentioned and could be a possible look for the Fox hero is Omniblade, concept art that eventually became Sombra. The thing is, Omniblade wasn't Mexican, she was Japanese. She wore an almost cyberpunk-esque Japanese urban outfit. She used throwing knives instead of Sombra's guns. So she's very different from what we know as Sombra. But if you think about it, this would fit the Fox girl perfectly. The urban style kind of connects with the graffiti that she's putting all over the place. And it also kind of ties into her abilities, but more about that in a minute. First, let me circle back to the graffiti. Not only is she the daughter of these legendary weaponsmiths and a swordmaster, she's also an artist, which makes sense. Art is often born out of difficult situations, and she's putting her art to good use. She is the local resistance versus that clan. Seeing her town and specifically her parents suffer under the pressure of these new rulers has made her into a sneaky underground rebel. Where did we hear that before? She's sending out a message of rebellion with her art, but she's also disrupting the oppressor's operation. Very ballsy lady. But in the end, she's going to run into her mother, who is still an enforcer for the clan. And once she joins the roster, she's going to run into Hanzo and Genji, who abandoned Kanizaka, and are thus partly responsible for everything that happened to her and her family. Yeah, Overwatch is slowly turning into this kind of dramatic opera. Very classic. Now to go back to Omniblade, she uses throwing knives, which could make a nice variation on Hanzo's bow and Genji's shuriken and sword combination. And the thing is that a journalist did get to see a concept of the Fox hero back in 2019 at BlizzCon. He was the first to talk about this hero, and he said that it looked like she was using a bigger shuriken, which kinda sounds silly, unless she's going to join a competitive frisbee team. But the thing is, he only got to see a silhouette of that hero. What if what he saw were actually throwing knives fanned out? I know, I might be grasping at straws here, but I want her to use those knives. I don't want an oversized shuriken. Because these knives would tie in nicely with her spirit fox. The one we got to see in the trailer that was darting over the map and spawning tories, traditional Japanese gates. A few things that stood out in that footage for me is that when Zarya, Ana, Genji, and Hanzo walk into the frame, they have this green hue over their feet. Something that we have seen in Overwatch 2 with other speed boosts. And if you pay attention, they definitely run faster than usual. The Fox hero herself does not seem to be following, but yeah, they didn't want to show her yet. And I don't think she's the actual Fox, because as some people pointed out, she despawns as soon as she hits the staircase. Which makes me think that it is some kind of avatar, a spell effect that she summons. I also noticed that the Torii gates and the tiles that they summon have a different feel to them than the Fox, but that is most likely art direction, just to make the Fox stand out a little more. The question is, what is this Fox made of? The closest thing that I can find that resembles that same kind of texture is Echo's face. Yeah, I know that sounds weird. Your face looks like a fox. Or is it your fox looks like a face? I don't know. But let me explain. Symmetra's walls and portals, we know that those are made out of hard light. And in Overwatch 1, those kinda look similar to the Fox. The new spell effects for Symmetra in Overwatch 2 look completely different. And it might just have changed them to differentiate them a little bit from everything that is coming for the Fox hero. Another one that kinda looks close is Reinhardt and Brigitte's shield. But that is energy. And it is still kind of different, more square. The most logical comparison I could make would be Hanzo and Genji's dragons. Those are supposed to be guardian spirits that they can summon. The thing is, I don't think Sombra can hack spirits. Just saying. So most likely they're also holographic in nature, just like Echo's face and her ultimate. So that could mean that the Fox spells are holographic in nature, and those throwing knives I was talking about earlier, those might be the way she does it. They might have some advanced technology in them, just like Hanzo's bow or tattoo and Genji's sword. This Fox hero might be taking the heritage of herself, her family, and her village to a next level. And judging by the way she might be doing it, her and Sombra, they're going to be BFFs. On the other hand, it would also emphasize the generation gap between her and her parents, especially her mother. And in a way, it could also put her at odds with the Shimada clan, because she is kind of using their secret tag to summon her own spirits. Anyways, back to the actual impact of those abilities. Like I said, the effect we saw in the trailer looked like a speed boost. I just hope that it's not the only trick she has up her sleeve, because we already have quite a few speed boosts in the game already. We had Lucio, the Junker Queen, and all of these boosts are capped at 75%. So there isn't much use to keep adding these speed boost abilities. And I do hope that the Fox is going to be pivotal in all of her abilities. I want to see a Fox that dodges around and just leaps at different teammates that need healing. Give her a few charges and she can bounce around like 3 times to different people. Maybe we can see some Foxes on the enemy ankles, slowing them down and giving them a bleed effect. And for her ult, a huge Fox that just sings them all to sleep. Okay, yeah, that just got progressively more silly as I moved forward. But my point was, more Fox, please. And on a serious note, make her the type of healer that feels different. Give her spells with some intelligence to them. We have plenty of darts, we have plenty of beams, grenades, even have someone that sprays their targets to heal them. It would be nice to have some of those ancient magic creatures that just bless you and then go on their way to save the next person or to get a Big Mac. Anyways, what do you hope to see happen with this new hero? What is important to you? Let me know in the comments. For now, however, that was it. Thank you very much for watching. See you during my streams on twitch.tv/DamesTV or in my next video. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.